there's not many people in life who can say they were leading the World Championships in their chosen sport. But our next guest is certainly one of them who can. It's the very interesting, very friendly and charming Red Walters. He represents Grenada on the track and on the road. He's a multi-time national champion for them. And as I said, at the recent Worlds in Rwanda, he took a flyer at the start and kind of made a name for himself in that sense. And it was just great to see him get on. And yeah, we talk about his Olympic dream, his plans for the future, as well as what it was like to be his own support staff during the Worlds. So yeah, drop us a like and subscribe, and otherwise enjoy the show. Hello, thank you so much for joining me. How are you doing?
Thanks for having me. Not too bad. I've got a bit of the off-season illness that seems to be going around everyone. I swear, like half the people I know have been getting ill, but we're getting over it. And yes, surprisingly, I'm kind of enjoying the cooler temperatures. I don't normally, but it's kind of I'm embracing autumn/winter this year.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, it's that off-season flu. Is like, is it just because you've taken a rest? Like, I used to be a teacher, and everyone would be like, that first 6 weeks after summer, all the teachers would work themselves into the ground, and then half term hits and they just get ill because their body's gone, oh, I can relax now. I can let the
Yeah,
illness in.
exactly. I think that's definitely part of it for me. Like, 'cause I was holding, I don't know what off, but I was like really holding off the last few weeks. So yeah, it's not surprising at all that it's finally got me.
Yeah. And like, yeah, it's an easy way into a conversation, but like, how did you even start into cycling? Because there's so many facets to your career. There's even some cyclocross, which I was pleasantly surprised to see in your palmarès.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like, how did you get into the sport?
Yeah, so um, I was never really that sporty. I did dinghy sailing when I was much younger for a lot of my childhood, which I
Mm.
wouldn't really call like an athletic sport. You know, it's a kind of sport. Anyway, I was at GCSE level, so year 11, and I guess I wanted to start something. I did a lot of gaming. That was like my competitive outlet, and I wanted to start a sport. Cycling looked pretty cool. There was probably some inspiration from something somewhere. I don't think I could pinpoint it, but that's what I was like. I want to try that out. But obviously, a bike is a bit expensive. It's a bit of an investment, especially for a year 11 who's not making any income. So I made a deal with my parents. If I got a certain number of A's in my GCSEs, then I'd get the bike. And I got the exact number of A's that I needed to make the deal. Um, so yeah, got the bike, and literally, I think 2 or 3 weeks after getting the bike, I entered my first race, and I can't be the only one who thinks, "Oh yeah, it looks easy." Like I reckon Tour de France, give it a couple of years, like easy. So this little Cat 4 race, no problem. Or it wasn't even Cat 4; it's U16 because when I first started, it was like the last bit of being U16. Anyway,
Yeah,
I got
UK, wasn't it?
absolutely dispatched and lapped like 4 times. I came second last. But that's where the addiction started, and it's just very gradually and slowly built from there.
Yeah, because you've just reminded me of like my first UFA race. Like, I
Yeah,
used to do like, yeah, I did like the 10 mile time trial, like the weekly 10 that everyone does, and like my times were okay. Like it took me a year to break 30, but I did it on a road bike. Like I got
yeah,
there, but then that first actual like BC race as a UFA, so a British cycling hosted event. It's like Darley Moor at their like racetrack, and like first
yeah,
corner I got ditched. I was like, oh okay. It's like I thought I'd hang on a bit further than the first corner, but no, clearly not. And yeah, it's tough. You kind of forget that. Um, yeah, that step up is really huge.
yeah.
Um, there's a couple of tangents I want to go on. So, firstly, what games were you into, and are you still a gamer now?
Oh, it's funny actually. I'll go back first. I was a big Call of Duty player. I used to play
Okay.
competitive Call of Duty with my mates. We weren't that good. But I played so much, and Counter Strike, CS:GO, and then like a smattering of other games. And then
Ooh,
just the funny thing, we played all sorts, but recently I downloaded Battlefield 6 that just came out. I was like, oh
mm.
great, off season, we're going to play a load of that. Turns out it won't run on my computer. The motherboard's too old, and I can't be asked to start swapping stuff around. So I guess I just won't be playing that one. But yeah.
Yeah. On the CS:GO, like, what's your favorite map?
Oh, I've actually launched it the other day, for a bit of nostalgia. My
Mm.
favorite, probably Mirage. That was always my go-to.
Yeah, I did see. I played it a little, but not like masses.
Yeah.
So I know there's the Belgian one. Is that like cobblestones or cobbles or something like that?
Yeah, I can't even remember. I think Cobblestone was what it's called, or Castle maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's probably Castle. That makes sense. And then is it? I want to say Dust 2, probably.
Yeah.
Whatever one has the sort of bananas section of a map.
Oh,
Um,
Inferno.
yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The
Yeah.
like the Italian one with the or something like that.
Yeah, so I never got Italian vibe. I don't know what vibes I got from it,
Or
but
maybe
yeah,
not. I don't know. I'm just I'm
yeah,
sort of guessing.
there's like the chapel section.
Yeah.
Like if anyone's watching this at home when the video's out, I will have screenshots of what I'm trying to talk about.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, because I used to run to, I'm guessing B, whichever the bomb site near the chapel, I'd run there and then be able
Yeah.
to shoot through if anyone was coming up terrace. Um, Yeah, it's strange what I remember now. I haven't thought
Yeah.
about that game for ages, and then
I know,
suddenly
it's
you
funny, isn't
mention
it?
it.
It
It's
just
like,
like it comes back in bits.
yeah, it's just like a flood, like everything all at once.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so obviously you said you got your head kicked in thoroughly in your first race. How did it progress from there?
Yeah, I mean, so I was doing like club rides every week. That was like
Mm,
the fun thing. So that very first race was the end of 2015, and it was like the last race. So
yeah,
then into 2016 is my first like proper season. It's a fourth cap because I was junior at that point. Um, and yeah, I was basically just doing as many races as I could enter. It was a pretty good progression. So I think it was my third race. I got the win,
okay.
which got me up to third cat.
Mm,
And then it's like the thing I love about cycling is it's like you get really good at the level, then you just about move up, and then you're just crap again, and then you have to be crap for ages and ages and ages, and then you move up, and then you get to be crap again, and it's like the cycle continues, and it does not end, and until you get to be Pogacar, there is another level where you can be crap at and start the progression again. So it's like it is quite rewarding in that respect when you get to the top of this like I guess this level each time you do it. That's what it's like video games. That's where I think it's clicked for me from the start in some ways. Um,
that's
so
interesting though, because I'm like, to me, that feel the way you describe it, it feels like an almost Sisyphean effort, where it's like you never reach the top of the
yeah,
mountain. Whereas you're saying that's rewarding, and I'm like, that sounds hellish almost. But do you think you favour, like, not in a literal sense, but do you like the climb more than the getting to the summit?
I think it's rewarding because there are wins along the way, and
Mm,
there's a very clear progress marker, so you're always making progress. And it's funny. I always used to when I was younger, I always used to imagine like, oh yeah, the best part is like the win, the X, the Y, the Z. But it's like I think at some point I realized, and it sounds so corny, and I don't even like saying it in this sense, but I'll run with it. It's like it's the journey that's
yeah,
like the good bit. It's the friends we made along the way.
yeah,
You know?
yeah. Oh, what's it? I don't know how much you're into music, but Dave has a lyric like it's just spoken where it's like the journey is the film. It's
Yeah,
like it's not the end of a film that you're reaching. Like you're, if you watch a film, you don't watch it for the ending. You watch it for the whole thing, and that's
yeah,
like that's what the journey is. It's like that is the whole point of it.
yeah. And it's like you realize there is no. You're in a pursuit of like the top level, I guess you could say,
Hmm.
and you can't get to the top level. Like Pogacar and Van der Poel, and like there's like four guys who are at the you could say the top level, and everyone else is still trying to get to that level. So it's like when you realize that mentally, you know, you're still in the same spot, just further down. I think it allows you to enjoy it a bit more. And you can still set your own goals, but it's just enjoy the progress rather than, I don't know, getting to some milestone. Because every time you get to a milestone, you just set a new milestone. You know.
Yeah, yeah, because it's been really fun, like watching your journey though through Instagram and sort of almost living vicariously through it and your different adventures. Because I was also looking at your Palmares last night and just seeing where you've ended up, and
Yeah.
you've done some mad races like Pan American champs.
Yeah.
Obviously with your representing Grenada, multiple Grenadian champion.
Yeah.
Like, how does that feel just to be able to have that jersey like all year round, pretty much?
Oh, really? I honestly love it. Like, it makes me so proud to be able to be a national champion, firstly, and then secondly to represent a country that most people haven't actually heard of.
Mm.
So like almost every race I'll get, oh hey man, what jersey, what national champ is that from? And I'll say Grenada, and they're like, oh, like, and they're like they've never heard of Grenada, they don't know where it is. So explain it's in the Caribbean, and then some people are like, oh, where's the Caribbean? It's like, oh, the geography
Okay.
education didn't really reach you, did it? But we'll start from, okay. So South America, Colombia. You just go up a little bit and then up a little bit more, and then we're there. So yeah.
Hey, sorry about that. We just had some tech issues at that point, so I thought now is as good a time as any just to remind you that if you are liking this content, do give us a like and subscribe just so we can see what sort of content is being liked, what sort of content you want to see more of. I mean, it's all going to be interviews anyway, let's be honest, but seeing number go up would be a huge mark of respect and just encouragement to keep going. So, yeah. On with the show. Oh, sorry for the tech issues. We just made a quick edit there whilst stuff was going on. So yeah, like obviously representing Grenada, it's kind of crazy. Like, do you ever get? Because I can't remember which rider it was. I want to say someone from the Balkans, like an Estonian type rider, would often like complain that he'd get onto the sort of start ceremony for a bike race like they do at the Tour of Britain, and I assume they do at many others, like the signing on bit.
Yeah.
And like a commissaire would be like, "Hey, that's not your team kit. That's a different kit. You're not allowed to wear it." Like, does that happen often, or is
To
that
be
something you
fair, that's never happened to me.
don't? Okay.
I think, I don't know, that must have been quite a unique thing. I've seen some national champions where they don't like they don't have the matching kit properly. They have like a plain national champs jersey, and
Mm.
then they try and match it with it. I don't know. But no, luckily I've been on the last few teams. We've had like custom national champs kit that matches the team kit in the sponsors and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because like, how many times have you won it now? Do you even keep count?
Yes.
Because
No,
like,
it's
I remember you had it for the Tour of Britain, um, back in 2021. I want
two.
to say 22. Oh, that's
Yeah.
close. Um,
Close. Yeah.
yeah, I remember it being on TV and seeing you and going, "Oh yeah, I know that name. I've heard of him."
Yeah.
Um,
And then no,
and
so yeah, I've won it since then. So four
wow.
years. Yeah.
And did you do the double each time as well? Because you're TT and road race.
Yeah, yeah, the double. So eight titles total.
That's mad. Like, do you ever turn up and go, "Oh, I suppose this is another easy win," or is it always like a proper contest for you?
Um, like personally, I try not to get complacent, even if
Mm.
like I know my level is higher. I've been exposed to more races in Europe, and I'm quite fortunate in that respect to have like access to a good coach and all that kind of thing, and a good bike and stuff like that. But yeah, I try not to get complacent about it. I think it's easy to get, I guess, arrogant. Maybe not arrogant, but yeah, I try to be more modest and still, try and win and treat it as a proper race. Than even if I think I've got a good chance of winning.
Yeah, I suppose that's probably what Pogacar feels like turning up to literally any race
Like
ever.
world champs,
Yeah,
yeah,
like you get that once a year for two races where you're like, "Oh, I've got a good chance here." Like he gets
yeah.
that any day he chooses.
Oh, his level is just insane at the moment. It's ridiculous.
Could you imagine? I don't know. would you like to feel like that every day, or would you think it's a bit like wearing? I'd be
No,
like, oh, I'm
I think
bored of
he feels
this.
pretty good. I think he feels pretty good about it.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. And you've mentioned Worlds, so let's bring that up. It's kind of a crazy experience. Obviously, it looked like you had to do quite a lot of it yourself in terms of being your own Swanee, getting yourself to almost a team manager as well, where you had to go to like that team managers meeting. And it amused me when you were posting about like, oh, you wouldn't see Remco or Tade doing this, and
Yeah.
it's like just you like carrying a load of rice or whatever. What was that experience like in general before we talk about the two races?
Generally, I would say that was easily the most stressed or acutely stressed I've been in my living memory. To be honest with you, and maybe that says a lot that I haven't had that much stress, or maybe it just says a lot that that was a stressful event. But yeah, overall, it was just the number of things to think about, and the fact that I was already really tired. To be honest, like I said earlier about getting ill and I was fighting it off, I think I was fighting something majorly at that point as well. My body was just like exhausted, not recovering well. You know, partly like that end of season blues kind of thing that does come around. But I was so tired. There was so much to do. It was really stressful. But after the TC, I could actually relax and enjoy it a bit. And then the road race I really enjoyed as well. And just sort of getting into the rhythm of, okay, I've got all these passes sorted. I've got all the sign-on sorted. I know where to go, who to speak to. I finally got added to the group chat after like 5 days where I could actually get the information. People were like, "Oh, Red, did you know there's a managers meeting at like da 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 in da da da?" I'm like, "No, I didn't know because I'm not in the group chat. No, I'm not. How could I get the information?" Anyway, like it got sorted in the end. It was a hard experience, but it was. I wouldn't change it. I knew what I was going into, so there's no point trying to complain about it.
Yeah, and you mentioned that Grenada's kind of unheard of and quite not very well known, but that did lead to some amazing commentary by Alex Dowsett, which you definitely know about because I messaged you, as did probably half your contacts also probably did when they
Yeah,
saw it,
you did.
where he was like, "Hey, this is Red from Gibraltar." I'm like,
Yes, Gibraltar. That was it.
I was like, well, two things. Firstly, like, I know you're not from Gibraltar, and I'm sure Alex does in his heart, but he just in the moment didn't. But also, like, if you were representing Gibraltar, you'd just be wearing GB kit. Because there's a Gibraltar cyclist in mountain bike who did it a couple of times.
Oh yeah.
And he's done the Euros in a very niche discipline called mountain bike eliminator. Um,
Oh,
and so when he's entered, he's classed as a British rider.
oh
Um,
really?
yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, if you were from Gibraltar, you'd just be in GP kit and
Yeah, I was
look
gonna
like
think say I didn't. I don't remember seeing Gibraltar specific kit.
yeah. I guess at the commies that would happen.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah,
likewise for yourself when you were at commies representing Grenada, like yeah, it'd just be similar situation. Well,
yeah.
you'd each represent your nation that way. Um, but yeah, like what was the TT like? Because that hill at the end looked uh, unfair to the point of being cruel.
I honestly I can't remember the last time. Like obviously I ride a lot these days. I do a lot of miles and I've covered a lot of different terrains. I can't remember the last time I've been on a hill and like even the thought of getting off and walking has whistled through my mind. It's such a disgusting hill. So I did it in the training, and the gear I had on from the bike that I borrowed is a 60 tooth chainring with a I think 28 cassette, and it was like I literally did from fresh, like almost not max effort, but a really hard effort from fresh, and I was just about getting up it, and I was like, "There's no way I'm doing this in the race. Like I need to find the gear." So I went around begging for a bigger cassette and a smaller chainring, and got one, and then it was just about all right for the race. But overall, like I said, my body I was already pretty tired from the season, combined with the altitude, 1,500 meters, and I think that like the air was people were saying the air was just slightly not just thinner, but also there was like dust in the air kind of thing that made it a bit harder. Um, so that all what came together to me doing what was basically like a low zone 3 effort for the TT. but it felt like a max effort. My heart rate was maxed out. I set some heart rate PBs. Um, so yeah, and to be honest, I did better than I expected. I expected to be like worse than 40th, so I was all right with 32nd.
Yeah, 32nd in the world is pretty
It's not
impressive.
bad.
Like,
It's not. It's got a good ring to it.
yeah, it's like at least like I think I've said this before to someone else. Like when I went to uni, I went to Nottingham, and it used to say where they were on the QS like global rankings, and for
Oh yeah,
ages it said like a top 50 university, and then it became a top 75 university. So it's like, oh, okay, so they're somewhere between 51 and 75 if they're saying that. Like
yeah,
no one ever says I'm top like 75 when they're like 36th.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
always go
Exactly.
to like I'm guessing you go, oh yeah, I'm a top 40 rider in the world, or
No, I say top 32 rider in the world.
okay, yeah, yeah,
Sounds better.
yeah. Also, and then obviously you do that. How much time do you get to recover between the time trial and then doing the road race?
So the elite men had the most time, which is good.
Mm.
And it was the full week, so it was Sunday TT,
Oh,
Sunday
nice.
road race. So that was really nice. And I did almost nothing the entire week. I did a couple of rides, like even like just I could do a 2 hour ride and I was wiped out for the rrest of the day. So it's just
Wow.
like I don't know what was going on. Just as a combination of everything, I was just exhausted all the time. Um, I was getting my intention was to cook meals every day. Um, but every time you go to a new country, it's like you have to relearn how to cook and how to shop and like
Mm.
what is the right thing. Like, okay, what am I going to get protein in this country? Because it all changes different. You know what you can get hold of for reasonable prices. Um, Long story short, I gave up after like the first day that I was going to cook for myself. I was like, I'm just going to go to restaurants or buy food because I'm just too tired. And I ended up finding Uber Eats, or sorry, Uber Eats equivalent, the Rwandan Uber Eats, which is called like Vuba Vuba. Um,
Amazing.
and I had jollof rice and chicken every single day for like the last 7 days. So
Nice.
yeah,
Yeah, that 'cause as soon as you said that, I was like, oh, actually, yeah, because like I've got friends living in America, and even that, I'm like, what? Their options are so different. Like they get
yeah,
cheese in a can, for example. Like, look, they could. I don't think they do, but they could. And
yeah,
like, yeah, going to a country that like is meant to be a global leader, and I'm like, I still wouldn't know what to buy there.
yeah,
And then
yeah. It
compare
takes
that
some
to
adjusting.
to Rwanda, where like they're not guaranteed to speak English, and there's going to be other cultural differences that I just wouldn't fit in with. Like that would make it like shopping a very difficult situation for me. Um, and you're right. Like, what do you buy? You have to, yeah, you have to really recalibrate and relearn and start from scratch.
Yeah,
And again, like the Team GB lads, they probably wouldn't have that issue. Like,
no,
just
and
get.
I know because their Soigneur is my physio.
Oh,
So
okay.
I know all the stuff they got, and they had it easy.
Were they eating good?
Yeah, I mean they were in a hotel with breakfast, lunch, dinner provided kind of thing. I think.
Oh, that I mean that does simplify things.
Yeah, yeah.
But then, yeah, in your situation, I'm guessing it was probably partially self-funded, if not all self-funded, and then that makes it.
Well, yeah, yeah. Essentially fully self-funded, but I had help from a friend for this particular trip, so I was really
Wow.
grateful for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the flights. Luckily, I've never had so for an 8 hour flight. Was it 8 hour? Yeah, 8 or 9 hour flight. The return was like 650 quid, which is
That's not
cheaper
bad.
for the distance. It's like pretty cheap, and it came with two luggage included, which is like great. I was like, I can bring two bike boxes. I don't have to get shafted on extra fees. I booked the hotel whilst I was at the gate, ready to get on the flight. And then I realised I got scammed because the guy put his location as the centre of Kigali, and then I was looking deeper, and I was like, "This isn't where you say it is." Turns out it was like on the outskirts, and I would have had to ride like ages to get to the meetings. So I had to refund that, book a different one, and it actually ended up being fun. It was all right in the end. Um, but just another thing that was just like, oh, stressful.
Yeah, yeah, and again, Do you see Tade booking his hotels at the
Yeah,
airport gate, waiting to get his flight? Like,
yeah, no, exactly, exactly.
that's mad. And then yeah, the road race itself is again some feature time for you. I think I must have been out or doing something. I can't even remember, but I remember seeing the clips afterwards. When
Yeah,
like, hey, he was off the front. How was that to be technically leading the world? Well, I mean, not even technically. You were leading the world.
yeah. That was my goal from the start. To be honest, I was like, I don't care how long it lasts. I know for a fact that once, like, even if I survive one lap on the climbs, like, it's just going to be tricky, almost impossible. Especially like with how I'm currently feeling. Like, it needs to be from the start. And I'd watched the other race. I watched every single other race because I had nothing else to do. And I was seeing if a break went, they almost always went on that first stretch that's like just downhill mostly, and then sometimes they'd get caught on the first climb, and if they didn't, they'd last a bit longer. So yeah, I was like, I need to be the first attack, get gone. It's like downhill, so it's so fast, and I was like, I know I've probably got the highest like weight times or weight divided by CDA in the whole in the whole bunch. So I know that when we're going downhill, I'm absolutely shifting. Um, so yeah, just timed it well, got the gap, and just dug in for a little bit.
Oh, nice. And then, like, when you got caught, was there any sort of pretense to try and survive in the bunch, or did you just go, well, I know, like, that's my day in the sun done. I might as well like pull the plug.
Yeah. So firstly, there was a bridge group that came to me,
Mm.
and my coach was like, "Yeah, normally in the world, it's like an easy breakaway. Like the smaller nations want to get some airtime, so it's normally pretty like chill." I was like, "Sick. Okay." I'm turning my head, like expecting to see some of the smaller nations, and then I see it's like Portugal, Germany, and the Netherlands. I'm like, "Oh, that's not going to be an easy breakaway." Um, they caught me like a couple hundred meters before the first climb, and I was like, okay, let's just lock in. We'll just go max up this climb because I know they're going to go hard, and they popped me so quickly. Like, because my heart rate was already like 180 beats a minute at the bottom, so I was already almost redlined. Um, and yeah, I was like, it's just not going to happen. Got caught by the bunch, and then I knew I was redlined. I was like, okay, I'm not going to last much longer, and yeah, it's hard almost to find motivation to last like one more lap out of 20 or whatever, or 17 or whatever it was. So yeah, I ended up getting dropped pretty quick.
Yeah, and like it's something that's always interested me, and I've never had a never really asked or thought about before. But like, what do you do like afterwards? Because you see a lot of people do retire from the worlds because as in from the race itself and withdraw because
Yeah.
it's very much an all or nothing race. If you're not in the lead, you're nowhere. So you will see a lot of withdrawals and DNFs. Like, do you just chill and hang around the finish and wait to see who wins, or do you go, "Oh, I might as well beat the traffic and get back to my hotel"? And I guess
Yeah.
living
So
in a circuit is tricky though because you don't want to get in the course.
yeah. I was hanging around at the finish for a while. I was hanging out with the Belize guys. They're really sound. They had like a full squad of maybe four guys, and their presence really sound. So they were sort of taking care of me. They'd offered to do bottles and stuff. So I had a bit of support from them. We hung out a bit. They ended up going to a cafe. I was still pretty tired. I literally sat on my own in the pits for like, I must have been like an hour or at least an hour, just messaging with friends, family, and all that kind of thing. And I was like, right, I guess I better. How many Ks to go? Oh yeah, still 160K to go. Okay. I'll probably just go back to the hotel and then just watch it on YouTube so I can see like the whole race.
That's a good idea.
So yeah, it's a bit weird, like a bit anticlimactic, just going from like being there with all the crowds and everything, and then just like going. My hotel was really close; it was like a kilometer and a half. So yeah, quick ride down, just sit in my room and watch on YouTube.
That's kind of yeah. It's funny though. Like it sounds like a good way of doing it because, as you said, you get to see the whole race rather than the one limiting factor with being a fan of road racing is if you go to a road race in person, you see people for what 15 seconds while they go around a corner and then they're gone again, and it's like okay, cool, good watching. I'll see you in 30 minutes or so.
Yeah, yeah,
You
exactly.
know, you just
Exactly.
get these snapshots of a race and you don't really know what's going on. Whereas, yeah, on YouTube you do see it and proper coverage, and then you go, oh, I know that corner, I was there.
Yeah. It is different watching it when you've been there. It's funny. It's like, oh wow, I really like have just a whole different sense for what each part of the course and how it feels and stuff.
Yeah, because famously they always say on commentary when there's a steep climb, they're always like, "Oh, TV doesn't do it justice." Like, is there any truth in that? Because you
The
rode a
cobble
lot.
climb,
Yeah,
in the TT, you look it back, and it, especially from the helicopter, it just looks like they're just riding up, and you sort of know that it's steep. But then you ride it, and it's like what looks like almost a tiny shake feels like the whole bike is like, you know what I mean? It's so funny how much easier it looks on TV.
yeah. Because like, did you ever do Lincoln GP?
I've
Um,
still never done Lincoln actually.
because I was going to ask like how it compares to that cobbled climb.
Yeah,
Um, because that's hard. Like, I pushed a pram up it when my youngest was like maybe half a year old or so, and
yeah,
that like yeah that was hard. And I did not enjoy. Oh no, she was
yeah,
like one and a bit actually, yeah, but still, regardless, I was pushing her up in a pram, and yeah, that's not easy just to walk up. I was like, I don't know how people cycle up that.
yeah,
Like I
yeah,
understand that they do. It's like I get it. It's a thing that happens, but I still don't comprehend it.
yeah,
Um, it's like how do planes fly? I don't really know. Understand it happens, and that's all I need to know. I just don't get the physics behind it.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, like, what are your kind of future plans, if it were like? Because I know you've done a lot of track this year. You've done racing in Italy and Slovakia, amongst others. Um, I know there's a bit of a project you're trying to start. Maybe I could be overselling it. I could be underselling it, or just like I guess your ambitions on the track, and representing Grenada further.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to think who I've told about a project that I'm going to start, and I think I've told like one person.
Oh, 'cause I'm sure you mentioned something on Instagram about LA, basically.
Oh yes, that
Yeah,
okay. That's different to what I was thinking. Never mind. I was like,
yeah. Go.
have you just like
Oh, I'm
hacked
not
my
going to make
messages
you.
or something? How have you
Yeah, I'm not
found
making you
out?
reveal secrets. Don't worry.
No. Yeah, no. So generally, yeah, the track stuff. That's
Mm,
what I can talk about. Um, that's like going to be a much more major part of my year going forward, or my career going forward. I think. Like the logic is like get like the goal was always to get to a world tour team,
mhm.
and that like I don't want to say I'm giving up on that goal because it's still like a really big thing, and I would love to do it, but I have to. I've sort of thought a lot about this. I have to define what does success look like to me. And I've seen so many guys who are better than me even go up to, for example, Pro Conti, and they go around the Pro Conti scene for like 2 years, and they get like a win or two. And it's not like it's like what I was saying earlier. You're chasing this thing where you always just set your new, you just set your new horizons.
Mm.
It's like okay, if I'm going to do that anyway, let's make it in something that I'm good at and I'm more likely to get results in. And track's always been something that's been suited to my physiology more than road. So I thought, you know what, let's just commit a bit more to track and see how good I can get on that. And then with the fact that I can represent Grenada and I can actually do like some really high profile racing. So to cut a long story short, track's going to be a big priority next year. I'm going to be trying to do all the major events. So Nations Cup, which is in Perth, then Hong Kong, then Malaysia. So that'll be
Wow.
another cool set of stressful adventures. And then after that, the major goal will be Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, which is again really cool. I'm looking that's like going to be a really big target. And then World Champs. Well, I can't even remember where that is, but later in the year. So that's like
Mm.
early season, mid season, late season. I'll still do a load of road in between. I think it's really important, like for the fitness and stuff. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing like the level I can get to on track.
Yeah, I always find track interesting. Like I've done tiny bits. Like I did grass track as well, which is just
Oh yeah,
weird.
yeah.
Um, like oh, who's it? I raced Vicky Pendleton's dad of all people when he. I don't know if he's still riding now. It's many years ago. Um, but yeah, It's wild though. Like riding a fixed gear bike, like there's elements of that truly terrify me. And then
It
I'm like,
looks, yeah,
well, everyone looks so calm. I'm like, I couldn't be that calm. Like, I would just be like terrified or screaming all the way around a velodrome for just 250 meters.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, like it's weird though because I'm like every time I swap, like if I do a track session, of which I don't do them often, but then when I go back to riding a road bike, I'm like I pedal more through the corners and I'm
Oh, yeah.
slightly less using the brakes and more coasting, and it makes you change mindset. Um, is that something you experience, or is it just do you keep them very distinct as kind of disciplines?
You know what? I hadn't thought about it exactly like that. Um, but you're probably right. It probably does, for me, subconsciously at least, teach you to
Mm,
be more efficient with how you, instead of braking, just sort of ease into it and that kind of thing, and using momentum better and saving pedal strokes. Um, I think yeah, there's definitely a lot of uh, like crossover advantage, I guess you could
mm,
say, which is one of the things I'm looking forward to seeing how it affects my road stuff. Um, so essentially, in the past, I've been really fast switch, really sprinty, and then my current coach, when I changed to him, he was like, "Okay, let's like really build your aerobic side of things because that's where your main weakness is."
mm.
So basically, it's been 2-3 years of almost exclusively focusing on the aerobic side of things. So I've like developed loads. I'm much better at climbing. I'm really great at long races, and that's great. But that really snappy, fast side has it's waned a little bit.
Mhm.
So I'm looking forward to seeing how adding a bit of track to keep that intensity, see how that affects the road. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, yeah, that is true because like yeah, it's kind of you want to be good at sprinting to win the races, but then if you concentrate too much on that and not on the aerobic, then you can't get to the
You
sprints.
don't get to the finish. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. It's a really
but then
hard balance.
if you go too much the other way, you get to the sprints, but you can't finish them off because you've not got enough sprint. And it's
Yeah.
like you've got to find that kind of that balance between the two. You can't just, I guess, to use gaming terms, you can't min max it.
Yeah.
You have to be that all round.
And the really hard thing is that balance lies in a different place for every race.
Mm,
So there's some races that at some point I was like really perfectly optimized for within myself. So it's like I could just about get to the finish, and then I'm sprinting in a group of 30, and it's like sick. This is great. And then some races I get dropped, or some races it's a bunch sprint, and I'm not the fastest guy there. Um, which again is another reason why I'm really looking forward to track because it allows me. And again, everyone's in the same boat, but I can say I can really sharpen my tools for one specific job, and it's like it's the same job every time, so I can really like focus down and be good at this one thing, and not have to try and be broad. And at the moment, I'm training to be really broad because it's like you're constantly trying to get a result and take any opportunity wherever it comes. So you have to be open to taking a win in a broad set of scenarios. But yeah, I'm looking forward to being much more dialed into a specific type of racing.
yeah, and on the track, like, what is your specialist event? Do you have one that you're like? Because obviously you've done races where you do like Madisons and all sorts, but I'm going to assume that there's one like particular part of track racing that you favour over others.
Um, well, so the Olympic discipline is omnium,
Hmm.
which is that's I guess that's the main thing. So you have to be good at everything, really.
Mm.
Um, I would say at the moment it's my weakest, mostly based on experience, just because I haven't done track at this level really for that much until this year. Um, so where I'm at now, I do like a good scratch race. I mean, that was the one that I won. I won a class one scratch race in the summer, which was like the biggest result this year. Um, and it wasn't in a sprint. I sent it with like half the race to go, and they let me go, and I nearly took a lap and ended up winning. So that was like, and it's funny. It's a peculiar way for me to win a race. So yeah, long story short, not sure which is my favourite. Um, Probably whichever one I most recently won is going to be my favourite.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Like, and I guess that's a nice feeling when you've taken a flyer off the front and you're like, you know, you're going to win and you don't have to sprint it out. Like,
Yeah, Yeah.
I was like the 8K scratch on grass,
Oh yeah.
and it was like I worked for like a kilo just to get back into the leading group, and we lapped some riders. So I was I was a quartet of us on lead lap, and then
Yeah.
everyone else was behind us, and we became a group of 6 because we caught the 5th and 6th place rider and lapped them.
Okay.
And I just couldn't keep the pace anymore, so the other 3 rode off, and I was 4th, but sitting behind on the wheel of 5th and 6th. And they were sprinting for the win, like to sort their position. They're like, "Oh, who got 4th? Who got 4th?" I was like, "Well, I did. I was a lap
Oh, they
ahead
didn't
of you." And it
realize.
was, yeah, and that was the nicest feeling, like
Yeah.
the best sprint ever, because I was like, "Yeah, you guys knock yourselves out. I'm not sprinting.
Yeah.
I'll still be 4th." And it's kind of, yeah, it must be nice in your sense when you made that attack and you're like, "Oh yeah, I know I'm gonna win at this point." And I
Yeah.
can kind of relax. That must be a lovely feeling.
Yeah. And it was even better because some kid had been like, "Oh, can I take a picture?" Like at the start of that race. So he took a
Oh,
picture, and I was like, "Yeah, now I'm winning. How cool!" Like he must think I'm just an absolute legend right now.
yeah, yeah, that is cool. Oh, yeah, and he'll be bragging to all his mates, like, yeah, like I got a photo with a guy, and he's like, he's a champion. He won.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, like, what's the plan? Is there much of an off season now? Because I don't even know when the Nations Cups are. I've kind of fallen out of knowing when calendars are. I let the racing happen.
Yeah. No, so
So
they're
yeah,
in. First one's in March in Australia,
okay.
and then the other 2 are in April. So I got loads of time.
Hmm.
So I've still got 2 more weeks. Well, officially I've got 3 more weeks off, but normally my coach sets like 5 weeks off, and then if you really want to start riding sooner, then great, you can do that. But normally I end up taking most of that. Just I feel I need it. But yeah, so back to training, sort of start of November. Then I've got quite a bit of time. I'll do some racing in January. I think I'll do the Tour of Sharjah again, which is in the UAE. That's a cool race, and then some other races out there. And then yeah, probably from I don't know, back end of February, start focusing on track stuff. Yeah.
Oh, nice. And how can people then follow you on social media and keep up with your journey and seeing where things lead?
Yeah, so most of my updates are on my Instagram, which is at @the_register. Um, yeah, I do some stuff on YouTube, but yeah, Instagram is the main platform.
Yeah, I mean, I've found it very entertaining to follow so far and see where you end up and yeah, all the mad places and mad races you do. And yeah, I can't wait to see what the rest of, well, not this season because you won't be racing, but like what next season brings for you and yeah, seeing how you get on in the Nations Cups.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm excited to see how it all goes.
Yeah, awesome. And hopefully, yeah, speak again soon.
Cool, definitely, and thanks for having me.
Well, there you go. That was my chat with Red Waters. It's really great to see what he's doing and how he's having to do a lot of it himself. I think that's just truly remarkable. That man's following his dream, and hopefully you can follow along with his dream and see how he gets on this year and in the coming years. And until next time.